Rich Franklin has been dropped before by Evan Tanner, who's not known as a great fighter, or excuse me, as a great striker, very great fighter, but also by Ryoto in Japan, who is a guy who BJ Penn fought, and he couldn't put BJ Penn away. There has been questions about Rich Franklin's chin because of this. You know, to his defense, it's very hard to hit him, so it's hard to test that chin. David Loiseau will hit Rich Franklin. If the two of them are standing up, the two of them are on their feet, guaranteed Rich Franklin's going to taste some of David Loiseau's medicine.
And I think it's very worthy of note that in the fight between David Loiseau and Evan Tanner, Loiseau was losing till he fired an elbow. Let's get some thoughts from our celebrities tonight.
I think Rich Franklin's got all the advantage in the main bout tonight. I think the only way David Loiseau can win is he gets on top and throws a good elbow.
You know me, I'm not going to give you any big predictions. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Loiseau's got a lot better chance than the book was giving him, but you know, I'm actually excited to see this fight, so it should be good.
I'm taking Franklin. I'm taking Franklin tonight. He's U.S. He's a United States U.S. all the way. I think Franklin's a total good wrestler. He's good on his feet. He's just all around. He's good on the ground. He can pound. He's great takedown. I'm going to take the U.S. I'm taking Franklin. We're going with Franklin.
I'm kind of leaning toward Loiseau, but I mean, even in the United States, I got to go with Franklin. I mean, he has a lot more experience being in the championship fights. If this goes to 5 rounds, or if it even goes to 5 rounds, I mean, I expect Franklin to win it. But, you know, in the early first couple rounds, I got to give it to Loiseau just because he's a really powerful ground and pound, very good on his feet. But, I mean, it comes down to a true champion. I think Franklin's proved himself time and time again.
I bet against Franklin one time. I won't do it again. I think Franklin's one of the toughest guys out right now. I think he's going to come out, they're going to exchange a little, and I think Franklin's going to be too much for him. You know, I think Franklin's going to just keep coming at him, and I think he's just going to overwhelm Loiseau. You know, you got to go with the USA. USA all the way, baby.
The main event with Rich Franklin and David Loiseau, I got to go with Rich Franklin. I know how he trains. He's a monster out there, but make no mistake about it, David Loiseau is not to be underestimated. The Canadian fighters are very good, they're very skilled, and they don't take any crap, so this is going to be a good tournament.
You want to talk about a man who knows his stuff.
That guy's at every UFC.
Oh, absolutely. Rich Franklin against David Loiseau. It is our main event of the evening. The middleweight championship is on the line.
David Loiseau. Tell me that song doesn't sound like Dance Dance Revolution.
Absolutely. The disco is over. It is Dance Dance Revolution.
Actually, that is the World Cup theme, apparently.
A confident 26-year-old David Loiseau, who defines a fight as a conflict of two wills. And that may very well be what this one comes down to tonight.
Wills, skills, that's what it's all about. And David Loiseau has a lot of both. He's got great stand-up. His elbows, like we said many times, are the best in the business. They come from another planet like meteors, smashing down. He's got great kicks, great punches, great striker. He's a very good grappler as well. Trains with George St. Pierre and Patrick Cote, Stephen Yo, all those great, I mean, Ivan Menjivar, you see right there with him. There's great fighters up in Canada. And it's this team that they're all training together. They're constantly improving and constantly growing. And David Loiseau is one of the top dogs up there.
He said, and I quote, "I have been working for this moment my entire life." And here it is, the shot to be the new world champion for David the Crow Loiseau.
Franklin, look at the look in his eyes. I've never seen him that far.
You know what? I was going to point out the same thing, and he comes out with the look of determination never previously seen in his eyes. And in talking to Rich a little bit yesterday, you could tell his focus was at a level that he had never previously attained, because he's always kind and gracious with his time, but he was so focused and prepared for this evening that it was almost like he had taken himself to another place.
But he is a champion, and champions rise to the occasion, and he understands that this is a bigger occasion than anyone he's ever faced before. This is a tougher fighter than anyone he's faced before. I mean, he has faced Ken Shamrock, but Ken is basically in the, let's be honest, in the twilight of a great career. He fought Nate Quarry, but Nate Quarry was untested. David Loiseau is tested. He's got international experience. He has a much better, much more rounded skill set, and he is a very dangerous challenger to Rich Franklin's belt.
Rich Ace Franklin set to defend his middleweight championship against David the Crow Loiseau. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Zions Extreme Supplements for extreme athletes, available at GNC stores nationwide. The champion, 5 years the elder of the challenger, reach advantage for the Crow Loiseau, but where he does most of his damage is inside with those lethal elbows. This is the main event of the evening, and who better than to get it officially started than Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, with Chairman Skip Avancino Jr. and Commissioners Dr. Tony Alamo, John Bailey, Joe W. Brown, and T.J. Day, and Executive Director Mark Ratner. Our judges at Octagon side are Nelson Hamilton, Jeff Mullen, and Dalby Shirley, and the lead doctor is Dr. Al Capana. When the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon is Big John McCarthy. This event is sponsored by Zions, extreme supplements for extreme athletes, available at GNC stores nationwide, and Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. And now, live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, it's time! This fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. This man is a boxer and a wrestler. He holds a professional record of 14 wins with 4 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, he weighed in officially at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, David the Crow Loiseau. And now introducing the champion standing in the red corner. This man is a freestyle fighter who holds a professional record of 21 wins with 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Rich Ace Franklin.
Okay, gentlemen, we got the instructions in the dressing room. Any questions from the challenger? Any questions from the champion? Touch gloves, fight clean, fight hard, fight fair. Let's go.
Wow, intensity from both men.
Oh, yeah.
The challenger, the champion. They are fighting for supremacy at 185 pounds. Our referee, Big John McCarthy.
UFC middleweight championship, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get on!
And here we go.
What a crazy sport this is.
They're going to touch gloves. Great show of respect, and it is crazy, isn't it? Oh, the high kick.
Right away.
High kick again. Oh.
Body shot. Beautiful body shot.
That'll get Franklin's attention early.
Yeah, Loiseau has a different stance than I've seen him before. Beautiful.
Loiseau,
Counter left hook.
Ducked under. Franklin likes to kick too.
What I'm seeing in Loiseau's stance is really concentrating on kicks.
He's really angled
Bang,
out, Joe.
right hand.
Yep. Kick again. The body position of Loiseau doesn't leave much for Franklin to swing at either.
No, it doesn't.
He's not square to his opponent. Combination, and Franklin closes
Good
the gap.
combination. Good leg, good body kick by Franklin.
Well, both seem very happy to keep it on the feet right here.
Nice left to the body by Franklin.
Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. If they keep swinging for the fences like this, it may not go that far.
Inside leg kick by Franklin.
It take Franklin a second or so to adjust to the change of stance that you kind of alluded to by Loiseau.
Franklin landed a right hand there, and Loiseau's legs buckled a little bit. Tough to tell if that was a balance thing or if he's actually hurt.
Good inside kick again. Franklin fakes with the right, comes with the left. Franklin loves to step in.
Whoa.
Loiseau pushed
Balance
back.
there.
Franklin now starting to gain his confidence after being sized up early by David Loiseau.
Loiseau's got a nice counter right hand. Franklin lands a knee.
St. Pierre already victorious here tonight. St. Pierre and Loiseau pretty much inseparable in their training. Their love for the sport and their belief that they will both one day be champions. Opportunity for Loiseau is right here in front of him. Franklin really taking the center of the octagon. Pressing forward continuously.
Good kick by Franklin. Muay Thai clinch. Franklin comes out of it with a punch.
Anytime they get close, though, you know Franklin wants to get out of there. Caught him. Gotta watch for those elbows. He caught him with the left there, but anytime they get into that Muay Thai clinch, you gotta be careful. Tonight, the middleweight championship on the line. UFC 59, the heavyweight championship on the line. Arlovsky against Sylvia. Tito Ortiz, Forrest Griffin, so much more. It's live on pay-per-view. Tickets are sold out.
Good
a slip
body
by
kick.
Franklin. Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. UFC 58 main event. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, our crew here from the UFC. Glad to be with you tonight. Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas.
Good right and the left by Franklin. Franklin fights in the southpaw stance, which is unorthodox. It's kind of difficult if you're not used to it. Good body kick by Franklin. Franklin's starting to land now.
You know what you like is you like to see that kick and you like to see Franklin follow it up, and that's what we've seen the last few times.
Loiseau staying composed, but Franklin is landing some shots now.
Remember I mentioned a moment ago that in the fight between Loiseau and Tanner, Tanner was winning that fight until Loiseau, bam, opened him up with an elbow. And that's one thing Rich Franklin is aware of. He can't go throughout the night totally avoiding anything close, but he's got to be aware that with that elbow, it can change directions this fight in a split second.
Absolutely, especially with cuts. You know, we've seen it happen time and time again. David Loiseau rains down an elbow and just blood starts flying.
Franklin is undefeated in his UFC career, 6-0 record. 21-1 overall.
Good left there by Franklin. Loiseau fell back a little. He seems to be okay. Franklin is really pursuing him now.
First of our 5 5-minute rounds. Remember, Loiseau likes that spinning back kick too. That folded up Charles McCarthy. Franklin finishing round 1 with a good flurry. Oh, and he knocks down Loiseau. And the round has come to conclusion.
Wow.
What a way to finish round 1 for Rich Franklin.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that round. Bang. That was the punch that dropped him. It looks like it's a right hook. And he follows up quickly with a left and another right. Perhaps David Loiseau saved by the bell.
All you got to do is not charging
Franklin
forward at all.
connects on Loiseau. Eddie Bravo, you're scoring in round one.
He's walking you.
That was an easy round to score, 10-9 Franklin. I'm really surprised at how Loiseau is moving backwards and he wasn't as aggressive as he normally is. Franklin put together several combos, several flurries, was more aggressive, had octagon control. Easy round to score, 10-9 Franklin.
Now, unlike boxing, when a guy gets dropped, it doesn't make it automatically a 10-8 round.
That is absolutely correct, Joe. You know, and it was right at the bell. And you know what? The interesting thing is Loiseau came out with some force, and then it seems like Franklin became very comfortable in utilizing his striking against him. They touch. They are ready for round two.
Loiseau looks a little frustrated.
What is it about Franklin which makes him so tough to catch up to?
Well, first of all, he's huge. You know, I mean, look, I weigh 185 pounds. This guy is fighting at 185 pounds, but he towers over me. He's so much bigger. He's got to be. I asked him yesterday what he's going to fight at, like when he gets into the octagon, what he thinks he's going to weigh, and he said somewhere around 205. I think he walks around even heavier than that. I think he walks around at about 210 to maybe even 215, which is enormous for a guy fighting at 185 pounds. He's a tall guy. He's very explosive, very athletic. And like we said before, he's very intelligent. He's got good angles to his strikes. You see him moving. He's moving all over the place. He's not predictable.
Now, the kid from the Queen City wanted to give a shout out to all his friends, some former students at Oak Hills, a full-time high school teacher in the Department of Mathematics before he started to school some of the best.
Loiseau may be hurt. Loiseau may be hurt.
Yeah, Loiseau's backing up and covering. Franklin smells the opportunity to finish it. And Loiseau retreating again. There's a mouse over the right eye of David Loiseau. Yeah, Franklin smells blood. Down goes Loiseau. This one may be just about over.
Loiseau looks hurt.
John McCarthy right on top of the action.
Franklin's got Loiseau rather's got to do something to get out of this position.
Franklin trying to finish it here in round two.
And Franklin is excellent on the ground as well. Franklin can finish this with submissions. Loiseau's not dead yet, but he does look hurt.
That mouse is just continuing to grow over the right eye of David Loiseau. And Franklin feels it. Trying to catch him again, chasing him down. Stop running or he'll be penalized a point is the message from McCarthy to Loiseau. Loiseau seems confused, dazed and confused right now.
Yeah, he's getting bombed down.
And overwhelmed. It somewhat reminds me of Chuck Liddell against Jeremy Horn. Continuous punishment by the superior striker right here, who is right now Rich Franklin, despite the thoughts coming in that maybe Loiseau was the superior striking. The chance of USA.
And what we've said before is Rich Franklin is constantly improving, and we're seeing that. He looks better right now striking than he's ever looked against his toughest opponent.
Loiseau bloodied up just a bit.
Rich Franklin is the real deal, and we are seeing that tonight.
And he is at the prime right now. 31 years old, in incredible shape, training at the Militich camp on several occasions, surrounded by Billy Rush and George Gurgel and Josh Rafferty, his partners in Cincinnati. And
good,
again
mixing
trying
it up.
To close in. 144 remains in round two.
Punches, knees, and kicks. Good knee to the body. Loiseau is just wilting here. Another knee to the body.
Any confidence that Loiseau had coming in seems to be dissipating at a rapid pace.
Yeah, he's got to do something drastic to change the tempo of this fight.
Don't forget, Joe and I will see you Thursday, April 6th, 9 p.m. live on Spike TV for Ultimate Fight Night.
Good elbow inside by Franklin.
That'll be our next time with you, and then to California in April and again in May.
A little slip there by Loiseau.
Franklin again trying to close it off. Slipping again.
Loiseau has not been able to mount any kind of an offense.
Big
Takes him
takedown by
down,
Franklin.
over, under, and he's got his back. He's got one hook in.
2 seconds remains in the round. Can he finish it with a rear naked?
He's got the choke.
Loiseau will give his back.
Loiseau has excellent rear naked choke defense. We've seen him in this position before with Evan Tanner. We've seen him with Charles McCarthy. He has survived.
10 seconds remains in the round, Joe.
He's turtling up, but he's taking a pounding. I mean, he is battered here. And this is only the second round. We're talking a 5-round fight. Big John McCarthy could have easily stopped it right there.
Rich Franklin absolutely dominant.
Yeah, Loiseau did almost nothing in that round offensively.
Everything's working. Because she's getting tired. Dave, you gotta throw the 1-2.
I am very impressed with Rich Franklin in this fight. I've always been impressed with Rich Franklin, but like we said before, he is constantly improving, and we are seeing that.
He's done. Use the elbow there.
You hear George Gurgel saying he's done.
Position. Okay? Don't think about pain. You heal up later. Breathe.
Timing, man, it's hard.
Don't worry. He's getting set it up. He's getting tired now.
You gotta step in 1-2 and work with the call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So beat up. Use your
Eddie
kicks.
Bravo, you're scoring.
Listen, put your hands and feet together now, okay? Cross and kick. Cross and kick. It's all you. It's all you.
Well, there's the 10-8 that he gives him in the second round.
I heard George Gurgel say something to Rich Franklin. Don't worry about the pain.
I think Rich Franklin said my left hand's broken, is what it was. Rich Franklin, I'm pretty sure, said my left hand's broken.
You know what? That makes sense. Look at it. It's open. Well, he's got both hands open right now. But when he was leaving his corner, he had one fist clenched and one hand open.
And that's when George responded with, Joe, don't worry about the pain.
That's a very unfortunate turn of events for Rich.
And you know what he had mentioned there, George said, then lead with the right and go with the left kick and finish him off. Oh, that's the best kick so far from Loiseau. Broken hand or not, Franklin still leads with the left. Franklin trying to finish it here.
Body clinch.
And down goes Loiseau.
And a mount. Beautiful.
This could be it.
This is a very bad spot for David Loiseau for sure. Rich Franklin can submit you as well as knock you out. He's got his back.
Can he finish it here? But as you said, Loiseau will give his back a little more often than maybe some of the other fighters in the UFC, and somehow he seems to survive each time.
Well, he's got very good rear naked choke defense.
And oftentimes he'll reverse that into an opportunity for him to utilize those great elbows.
Not this time, though.
Franklin with good control here in round 3. Fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Franklin's going to spin to the back again.
Oh, good
Steps
kick.
up and kicks to the body. Wow.
Look at the
Loiseau's
eye.
face is a mess.
Yep.
His right eye is hanging off. What is going on there?
They're going to check it. They're going to check it.
That is a gigantic mouse over his right eye. That might be the end.
Franklin feels confident. Doctors are going to check it.
He said watch him. They're going to let it continue. Oh boy. All right, David Loiseau's got to feel the urgency here.
These are the toughest guys in the world, Joe.
Without a doubt.
David Loiseau. Yes, sir, I want to continue. See what Franklin does with that left hand.
He throws it anyway.
Yep.
You see him shaking it afterwards. Oh!
Loiseau rocks
He is
Franklin.
hurt. And this is where Loiseau's most dangerous. Rich Franklin still looks like he's in trouble. His eyes are still
Loiseau
rolling in his
closing in
head.
on Franklin now.
very quickly.
Let go of it. Don't touch that beauty.
Franklin trying to get the takedown of Loiseau now.
Very good takedown defense.
Don't touch it.
Franklin was rocked.
Let go of it, Rich.
What a fight.
I just hope that swelling over his eye doesn't cause this fight to be ended. Good elbow inside by Franklin and a body kick.
Now Franklin on the attack again.
Loiseau is hurt.
Great work. Here you go.
It looks like Franklin has recovered.
The 185-pounders are putting on a show tonight.
Throws that left hand even though it's broken.
Good work. Good work. Come on.
Loiseau's eye is swelling shut. His right eye is a bloody mess. I'm not sure how much of Rich Franklin he can see.
1:12 remains in round 3.
Let's go, gentlemen. Got to throw. Got to throw.
Loiseau had Franklin in trouble. Franklin back in control now.
He looks fully recovered now.
That's that great conditioning that he has.
I saw Franklin look up at the clock, check the time.
Franklin a resting heart rate of 50. More connections by Franklin. Trying to finish it here with 27 seconds remaining in the round. And Loiseau refuses to have this night come to conclusion. Now his left eye is beaten and battered.
Yeah, he's got very unorthodox punches, Rich Franklin. They're very effective, but they're very unorthodox. They come like wide and outside. And I think a lot of times guys just aren't used to that.
Not unlike some of the punches we see Chuck Liddell use. Head kick that lands.
That blind eye. He's having a hard time seeing things coming from that side.
What a third round.
They are going to have a really hard time doing something about that swelling. They got to hop on that right away. I don't know if they have an end swell in there, what they're going to do about it.
That one's worse.
His wife, Beth, watching closely. Rich Franklin's wife.
You gotta give me all you got. You won this round cleanly. You gotta give me all you got now. Give me your mouthpiece.
Now the corner of Loiseau telling him he has won the third round.
Dave, you gotta throw the 1-2 and catch him again with the left hook.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that round. Bang, big left hook.
You're the best, man. You're the best.
Eddie Bravo, third round.
That's definitely one of the best rounds I've seen in a long time. Rich Franklin came out with a fury, big left hand. He had a big takedown. He took Loiseau's back. He mounted him. Loiseau's eye blew up, but out of nowhere, Loiseau comes back, knocks Franklin down, but then Franklin shows the heart of a champion, comes back and hurts Loiseau again, 10-9 Franklin. Unbelievable round.
That was one of the greatest rounds of all time.
Look at the smile on the face of David Loiseau and Rich Franklin. They're just out there having a little fun.
Right in the middle of the war. These guys are enjoying this.
I'll tell you what, these two guys are two of the most likable guys in the UFC, and we've got a ton of them.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, this sport is just filled with really interesting, polite guys. They're killers.
Absolutely, and it's the martial arts background, I believe, Joe. It's the respect and regard for the competition.
It definitely has a lot to do with it. Head kick.
Oh, that was a slip. But it could be problematic anyway. Could be problematic nonetheless for the Crow, David Loiseau.
Rich has got his back.
Now, this position also allows Franklin not to continue to pound on what we believe is a broken left hand.
Yeah. Now it's much better for him on the ground right now, so he doesn't have to throw that left hand. He's got one hook in. He's pulling him down with the over-under. He lost the hook. Loiseau's content to stay there. He's not trying to explode or roll out of this. He's playing it safe.
Don't forget UFC 59, Saturday, April 15th, 10 in the East, 7 in the West, live on pay-per-view. Tickets are sold out at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. The Huntington Beach Bad Boy back in the octagon. The heavyweight belt up for grabs that night. Franklin doing a great job of controlling here in round number 4. Been a long time, Joe, since we had a title fight go the full 25. This one may not if Franklin continues.
Oh my
goodness!
Beautiful.
How good was that?
He sensed, as soon as he sensed Loiseau standing up, he just picked him up and rolled with it. Beautiful suplex.
Loiseau's in survival mode here, buddy.
He's up now, and he's free. Both eyes swelling shut. He looked up at the clock.
What a sport.
There's nothing more exciting than this. I have no idea after someone watching this how they could ever watch baseball. Is that these guys are making about 30 times the money that they're making here. And soon that will be the case, I'm sure.
No question about it. Oh, nice underneath. The little uppercut action by David Loiseau.
Loiseau is not done yet.
No, he's not. The heart of a champion, although he may leave here without officially being one, he's certainly displaying all the attributes that are needed to have a title under your resume. Straight right by Franklin. 90 seconds remains in round number 4. The Crow still flying. That eye just looks nasty.
Here we go. That's good work.
Kick was handled by Franklin. Pushing forward again is Rich Franklin. That's a tough French-Canadian right there.
Absolutely. And a tough American fighting.
You've got that right.
With pink shorts.
Yeah.
You got to be a tough man to wear pink shorts.
You gonna say anything to him? I'm not.
Nope. Good body kick by Loiseau. And every time he does something, Franklin makes him pay.
Very little time spent on the ground here in this battle for the middleweight title.
Head kick by Franklin.
Franklin showing prowess with both the left and the right. The 8 points of Muay Thai. The hands, the elbows, the knees, and the feet. And not one elbow even really attempted to be thrown so far in this matchup by Loiseau. He's just never been in that position, Joe.
He's been overwhelmed.
Wow. Loiseau still coming with force.
Wow.
20 minutes of competition are now complete. Former heavyweight champion Tim Sylvia in approval of this one. We'll see Tim at the pond.
Doctors are looking very closely at David Loiseau. Get that end swell on him.
He's good.
David, you got to throw the 1-2 down the middle. He's wide open in the middle.
He's wide.
What?
Fight's over. All you got to do is not make a mistake.
Hey, Bravo.
It's all you.
10-9 Franklin. Loiseau started pretty good. He landed a big head kick in the beginning of the round, but then slipped trying to throw another one. Franklin took advantage, took his back, and had a little ground and pound action from his back. Then Loiseau stood up, and then there was that big suplex. Can't forget about that. But, you know, I can't believe that Loiseau's still in the fight with his eye looking the way it does. Unbelievable.
Come on now.
Well,
Finish it out, guys.
this is what has to happen here for Loiseau to become the new champion. He's got to either knock out or submit Rich Franklin, because he is well behind on the judges' scorecard against the man with brown and pink shorts.
Rich Franklin may have fought the last 3 rounds with a broken hand. Good body kick by Loiseau. Another one blocked by Franklin. Another one.
Loiseau coming with force.
He knows he doesn't have much time left.
Absolutely. And that just seems to anger Rich Franklin.
Here's the elbow. He landed one. Rich checked for a cut immediately. Takedown.
Franklin has good ground.
Well, he's very intelligent. I mean, he saw the opening and he knew Loiseau was looking to stand up. He made a mistake. Bang. Franklin takes him down. And he's mounted.
We've mentioned all night long, Joe, that Thursday, April 6th, 9 p.m., live on Spike TV, Ultimate Fight Night. It is worthy of note, as we had told you earlier, that following Ultimate Fight Night, the premiere of The Ultimate Fighter 3.
This is a very bad spot for David Loiseau. Franklin's in side control. Now he's Loiseau's not even attempting to get guard here. Takes a knee to the body. Trying to stand up. He might get guillotined here. He's got to be careful.
3 minutes separates Rich Franklin from victory. And Loiseau still hanging in.
Good scramble. And very nice scramble by Rich Franklin. Loiseau eats a knee to the body for his efforts.
You know, the beautiful thing is Loiseau is bringing it to the bitter end.
Oh, he is a warrior. This guy will go out on a shield and mount. Rich Franklin's got him mounted now.
This may do it.
He's got both grapevines in, what makes it difficult to finish a guy.
And there again is Loiseau is an oddity, if you will, because he'll give away his back a lot more frequently. And as you mentioned, he's got great rear naked defense, but he'll spin from that position and give away his back a lot more frequently than many of our competitors.
Yeah, you know what? Everyone has their own style, and he's comfortable in that position, I guess. I mean, he's been successful doing that. We've seen this position over and over in this fight.
These guys have been going for over 23 minutes.
If he tries to stand up, he might get suplexed again. It's almost like Franklin is begging him to stand up. He's trying to pull him up. He's got his back again.
Trying to get those hooks in.
But again, you see Loiseau's got great defense. Wow, Franklin is all over him.
The control of Rich Franklin. And again, I mean, this is in the 23rd and 24th minute. And still, it seems as if Franklin is extremely fresh and full of energy.
Yeah, you might see Franklin try something else. I mean, he's trying the rear naked choke. He hasn't been successful in it. You might see him transition to an arm bar. I mean, Loiseau isn't even trying to put him in guard. You see right there, his leg was right in the middle.
Good work. Good work. Come on, get up.
And again, this is fine with Rich Franklin because he doesn't have to pound on what is already a broken left hand. And undoubtedly, he's well ahead in the judges' scorecards.
Come on, Dick.
35 seconds separates Rich Franklin from his second title defense.
Again,
and there it is again. Just a little bit of an explanation point.
And what we thought was his toughest challenge turns out to be his most dominating performance.
Taking a look up at the clock, does Franklin, on the big screens here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center.
I mean, you talk about showing true championship caliber skills and heart. I mean, this is a guy who was hurt badly at one point in time and came back in that round to win.
They are on their feet as Rich Franklin is going to retain his middleweight championship. If you didn't love David the Crow Loiseau before, you better love him now.
What heart that guy's got. I mean, he was battered. He never gave up.
Tell you what, you students may have liked math teacher Franklin, but you're going to have to wait real patiently because it's going to be a long time before both Beth Franklin and Rich Franklin are teachers again. Rich Franklin, his conditioning is always is first rate, and he showed it going with great fury in the 24th and final minute of the matchup. Eddie, your final thoughts?
On my scorecard, I had Rich Franklin pitching a shutout. He won every round, and that last round, including 10-9. Again, in that 5th round, Loiseau started off strong, just like the 4th. He had 3 body kicks, landed an elbow. But then Rich Franklin, showed his heart and took him down, had him in side control, landed a couple knees to the body, mounted him, had back control, ground and pound from the back, and then ended the fight with that suplex. 50-45, Rich Franklin.
So it will be a unanimous decision victory for Rich Franklin. Defends his title against Nate Quarry and will defend his title again this evening.
Good fight, David.
Bruce Buffer.
Rich stands off the side. Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Nelson Hamilton scores the bout 50-43. Jeff Mullen scores the bout 50-42. And Dalby Shirley scores the bout 50-42 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Rich Ace Franklin.
As anticipated, a unanimous decision victory for Franklin, who's with Joe.
All right, I am here with the champ, Rich Franklin. Rich, what a lot of people thought was going to be your toughest test turned out to be one of your most dominant performances. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
It wasn't dominant because this fight went to a decision, and this is the first fight I've ever had go to a decision, so I'm very displeased with myself.
Now, I heard George say to you in the corner something about don't worry about the pain. Do you believe you broke your hand in that fight?
Oh, I know I broke my left hand in that fight.
What round?
Second round. It was the beginning of the second round. I could see, you might see me on the tape squeezing my hand back and forth because I knew it was messed up. The bad I mean, it really changed my game, but I had to keep throwing punches the whole fight.
Now, in one of the rounds, you were hit and dropped. How badly were you hurt, and were you worried?
Oh, I wasn't hurt badly. I just wanted to create a little drama to make the fight exciting. That's a joke. That's a joke. Dave clipped me, man. It's hard.
Now, we saw you come out with a look in your eyes and intensity that we haven't seen before in you. Did you think that this was going to be your most difficult test?
Yeah, I knew it was. I knew Dave was a very, very dangerous fighter, and even after the second round, I was confident in my performance, but I knew that he was going to come out in the third round as if he hadn't even fought the first and second round like it was a fresh fight. So I had to stay at top of my game all the way through the fight.
All right, you are the king of the 185-pound division. What do you see as a potential challenge for you in the future?
Rehabbing my hand and getting this eye fixed. I don't know, Marquardt called me out tonight. I know he's a tough competitor, and Swick's coming up, a lot of these other guys in the 185-pound division. I hear a lot of people talking, saying, after Loiseau, who's there going to be for Franklin in this weight class, and I guarantee in 6 months, everybody's going to be looking at a fresh, tough challenger.
Well, congratulations on the most impressive performance from you so far. You continue to get better, and we look forward to seeing you again. Rich Franklin, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to say thanks to my teammates, my coaches, and everybody back here behind me. You see him every time I fight, you see him in my corner. They put a lot of time into me. I want to say thanks to God. He watches me through my training, keeps me healthy, and also through this fight. He also watched Dave to make sure that he didn't get seriously injured, and I want to say thanks to Dave. What a great competitor.
First-class champion From the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio, Rich Franklin, 7-0, the undisputed UFC middleweight champion. And David Loiseau is beaten and battered and gravely disappointed. Oh, wow, Franklin limping. You know he ate some kicks, that's for sure. Round one, Franklin knocked down David Loiseau at the end of the round. Round number 2 is where Franklin said he broke his left hand. He also earned his first takedown of the night there. Round 3, Loiseau with a combination that rocked Rich Franklin, but Franklin came right back, got into the clinch. And in round 4, had the back and threw down the suplex. On the go, David Loiseau, finally the 5th and final round, controlled once again by our champion, Rich Franklin. Suplex City one more time for Ace, who is 22-1 in his mixed martial arts career, and he walks out victorious with the belt around his waist, the same way that he entered the Mandalay Bay Event Center here tonight. Rich Franklin retains his middleweight title, earning the unanimous decision win over David Loiseau. UFC 58 is being brought to you by the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino, Mandalay Bay, where excitement begins on the Las Vegas Strip. By Toyo Tires. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC. And by The Hills Have Eyes. Fox Searchlight Pictures, The Hills Have Eyes in theaters, Friday, March 10th. What a great performance by Rich Ace Franklin. Joe, let's take a look at our submission of the night, brought to you by our friends at Tap Out. Tap Out clothing wear at inyourface.com. And I'll tell you what, Mark Hominick was very good in his UFC debut.
Oh, phenomenal. Submission of the night goes to Mark Hominick with a beautiful triangle choke. You see Eve left the arm inside. Hominick locks down the leg to hold him in place, cinches the triangle. See him lock that leg to keep Eve from standing up, and Eve is forced to tap. The world champion kickboxer submits Eve Edwards.
So that is our submission of the night. How about the 2 fights we talked the most about coming in? First of all, George St. Pierre victorious over BJ Penn.
Wow, I mean, what a phenomenal fight that was. George St. Pierre was hurt badly in the first round, poked in his eye, his nose is bleeding, his face was swelling up, and he managed to gut it out and win a very close decision. Excellent performance, showed true championship heart.
Showing equal heart was his teammate David Loiseau, who was overwhelmed by Rich Franklin.
That's the most impressive display of heart I think I've ever seen. I mean, David Loiseau never gave up, tried to win that fight to the bitter end. And, you know, he was just overwhelmed tonight by a better fighter. There's nothing else you can say about it. Rich Franklin is on top of his game right now, constantly improving, constantly getting better, and rising to the occasion like he's never has before.
His cardio is absolutely off the charts, because I will make the claim that he looked as fresh in minute number 22 and 23 as he did in minute number 2 and 3.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you've seen, if you saw the Spike TV program where they show how he trains, nobody trains harder than that guy. I mean, his trainer talks about professional football players, all these other athletes, and there's no way they can keep up with him, he says. Rich Franklin is a dedicated freak of nature.
Another great night, Joe Rogan.
Fantastic night.
We will see you down the road as we get set, of course, for Ultimate Fight Night coming up, and then we have the premiere of The Ultimate Fighter 3. Lots coming up. It begins on April 6th, live on Spike TV. Rashad Evans and Joe Stevenson fight live on Spike that night. Stephan Bonner and Chris Lieben also on the card. Ultimate Fight Night followed by The Ultimate Fighter 3 premiere. Tito Ortiz and Ken Shamrock are your coaches. Then to the Golden State for the first time in UFC history. UFC 59 reality check. Tickets are already sold out, so contact your local cable operator or satellite provider. Arlovsky against Sylvia for the heavyweight title. Tito Ortiz will fight that night. UFC 60, Matt Hughes against Royce Gracie, May 27th from the Staples Center. UFC 58, USA against Canada, is in the books, and what a night it was for both the Americans and the Canadians. Mark Hominick, successful in his UFC debut. Our executive producers, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, UFC President Dana White. Our supervisor and coordinating producer, Craig Borsari, coordinating producer, Tim O'Toole. Our fine producer, Bruce Connell. Our director, Anthony Giordano. Technical producer, Alan Connell. Our entire crew always does a great job, including matchmaker, Joe Silva. Dirksen and Marquardt went the distance. Nate the Great got the nod. Then the welterweight fight we had waited for a long time to finally happen. George Rush St. Pierre, dominated early by BJ Penn, but he slammed his way to a split decision. He will get his rematch with Matt Hughes. And finally, Rich Ace Franklin. Dominant for 25 total minutes over David the Crow Loiseau. And the champion retains his belt and takes it back to the Queen City. For my partner Joe Rogan, our entire crew, Mike Goldberg saying so long until we see you right back here inside the Octagon.